Good everyone, my name is Graphics. Today we want to study another aspect of engineering drawing where we are going to be assembling a component which is already exploded in form of an orthographic projection, and this is the component here. It's already an orthographic projection, so we want to draw them in isometric. Now, if you look at this very well, let me zoom to you. Everything is in what? Is in centimeter, right? So you have to convert them into millimeter. We know that if you are moving from meter to millimeter, you'll be multiplying your value by 1000, right? And if you are moving from centimeter to millimeter, multiply your value by what? By 100. So what we simply do here is this: we are going to multiply everything here by 100. So we multiply by 100. Let's start and see how it goes. 0.375 times 100, that will give us 37.5. Alright, so the main diameter here is what? 37.5 meter. Is that taken? Now the same thing here, from here to here is 1.75 multiplied by 100, we're having 100 and what? 75. The same thing here, multiplied by 100, we'll be having 150. Right here, multiplied by 100, we'll be having 200. Here, multiplied by 100, you'll be having 76. Here, multiplied by 100, you'll be having this 0.75, you'll be having 75. How good? Then if you multiply here also, you'll be having 75. Right now, what else again? This also gives me 37.5. This will give me what? 25. So what we simply do here is, if you notice this now, these are very big. So I'm going to be using my radius of what? 1:2. Right? Half of my radius. So if I divide 175 by 2, I'll be having 87.5. So 87.5 is what I'm going to use. Right? I'm doing my scale with what? 1:2. So the next one, 150 will give me 75. What I will use? 200 will give me 100. Right? 76 will give me 38. The one I circled is what I'll be using. Then 37.5 will give me 18.75. That's what I'm going to use. Right? Then 75 will give me 37.5. Right? 25 will give me 12.5. So these are what? Then 75 will also give me 37.5. Let's do this one here, 37.5. Then 0.50, 0.50 times 100 will give me 20. This is normally it is 50, right? If I divide it by 2, I'm taking half of the dimension to give me what? 25. Is that taken? So those ones I circled is what I am going to use. If I divide this, I'm still going to have 18.75. So these are what I am going to be using. So let's start and see how it goes. First of all, since we are drawing in isometric, we need to draw our 4 points, our 3 axes. So this is what we are going to simply do here. So we'll draw our 3 axes. So first of all, I'm going to draw the vertical. You can see that. And I'm going to draw the horizontal. Which is this. Then also here also an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal. Now in doing this, I'm having my length, the width, and the height. So looking at my diagram here, this is in third angle projection because my plan is on top of my front elevation. This is the end elevation here, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'll first of all start by drawing this. Is that taken? How would I start? I'll look for the entire height, the entire length, and what? The entire width. Now this is the width here, which is what? I'm using the one I circled, that is 75. So I'm going to measure 75. 75 will be from here to here. Can you see that? So this is 75. Starting from this is here to this point 75. Right? Now the next thing I'll do is the other aspect again. The length is 85.5. 87.5. So I'm going to measure my 87.5. 87.5. So this is 87.5. Let's see how it goes. So this is 85.67.5, somewhere around there. So we're going back. Now after that, the height here is given to be, first of all, let's move with 18.75 first. Right, let's start with that. This thickness here, 18.75, which is this. So I'll start with that. So I'll go with 18.75. So from 1, this is 10, 15, this is 18.75 here, somewhere around here. So I'm going to close it up. Just start with that first. I'll close it up, placing it on my T-square. Take this up, first start. Then come here, take this up also, first start. Then I'm going to close this up. And I'm going to close this up too. Right? And I'm going to close here up too. And close it up too. Now, after doing this, I want to draw. I've gotten this plane here, as in this thickness here. So So I want to start drawing. Now what do you discover? You discover that this is the front and this is the side. So I can easily just stick in here since I know where exactly I'm going to. I'll take my metal rule and I'll take in from here to this point here. From here to this point. Can you see that? That's the first thing I'll do. And the next thing I'm going to do is, if you look at this, this is the plan, right? So it's telling me that from the center of this, from here to here, we have what? 150. We have 50, right? So I'm using 25. This is 50. It's too big. I'm moving what? 25. So from this point to this point here is what? 25. So what I'll do is, that means from here to here also is what? 25. So what I'm going to do is, I'll get the center, because this is the front. I'll get the center of this line here, and I'll measure 25 in between. So there are two ways we can do that. If you know from here to here, we know it's 75. So to get half of it, we know we'll use 37.5. So I'll take my meter rule and I'll measure 37.5. Right? So what you can simply do here, instead of that, you can easily measure your 75 here. Right? This is from here, from 1 straight down to this is 75. That's my AB, right? We know it is what? 75. So if I bisect it, this way, from here to here, right? I will bisect up, and I'll bisect down. I'll place it here also. I'll bisect up, and I'll also bisect down. So they'll be passing through the center, that center point from here to here. Right? This is my what? So from here is 37.5. From here is what? 37.5. So I just measured it. So instead of using my meter rule, I can easily take my rule, my compass here, and place it from here to here to get my 37.5. Right? So I'll place it here and I'll cut. So that's my 37.5. Now the next thing I'll do is 25. We say here is 25, right? From here to here is 25. So I'm going to use 12.5. So let me measure 12.5 on my meter rule. So what I'll do again to just save ourselves from stress, you do the same thing, you measure 25. 25 is from 1 here straight down to this is 25, right? Then I'm going to bisect it. I'll cut here, then place it here, right? So where they are placed from this point to this point, this is my 12.5. So I'll take my meter rule, place it here to this point, and I'll measure 12.5 to the left and 12.5 to the right. You can see that, and I should be able to take them up to this point. Then take them up to this point. Can you see that? Now I can just easily, if you look at this here, this is 12.5, right? Now it moved from somewhere to some extent here. That means I need to move it inside. But the question is, what is the distance? Now the distance is telling me that it is here. That from here inward, I'm having 25, right? And from here to here 25. So it means that from here to a certain distance is what? 75. So what am I going to be using here? I'm using 37.5 because I said earlier that the one I circled that I'm going to be using. So 37.5. So if this is from here is 37.5, if I bisect it again, this point to this point, because I'm using 37.5, right? So if I that's 37.5. So what I will do is I'm going to take this in. I will take this in and also take this in, right? And I'll measure my 37.5 there, which is what I measured from here to here, and I'll place it here. I'm going to mark. So where they meet, I'm going to take my set square and just use my faint line to join them at that point. Join them at that point. You can see that. Now also I can just take this up also, this my center point here. I'll just raise it up and put it up. So they are all meeting at this point, right? Now I know very well that this is also going in because the thickness is going in, so I'll just stop there first. So it is somewhere around here. It is somewhere around here. You see that I'm using faint line? It's somewhere around here. So I want to draw, there's a curve. If you look at the plan, there's actually a curve here. So I'm going to draw my isometric circle there. So if you look at it, we know that the distance from here to here is 37.5. So what I'm going to simply do is I'll just take my compass. I'll place it at the center point here and I'll take this measurement here. I see the measurement from here to here, and I'm going to just come and cut it here, cut it up here, and cut it down here. Is that taken? So I'll complete it to give me a box, like a box. So this will give me a box from this point and this point also. Now I've gotten this box here you see. Is that taken? So what I'll simply do is complete it to draw my symmetric circle. Right, and then I know that from here to this part, and from here to this part. You can see that. So let me zoom it. Now, after doing my isometric this, from this point here, I'll place it and I'm going to draw an arc, right? There's an arc. You can see that. And now I'm going to come at this point here, place it here, and I'll come to this point, and I'll zoom it out. Right? Sorry. I'm going to do the same thing. When doing that, take it back. Now, what we're going to do here is that I'm going to pull it straight down. Right, this curve I draw here is this curve. So I'll pull it straight down to touch the end in here. So let's do that. From here. Here also. Right. Now, also at this point too. Now, what I'll help myself is just using to draw this guy too. So what I'll do here is I can bring this down. And bring this one down too. Bring this down too. I'm repeating the same thing here. Faint line. Right. So we know we are joining from here to this point, right? And to save ourselves from stress, I have this way. The center of that guy. And here too. What I'm actually doing is trying to replicate what I did up here. So if you look at what I did here, at this point here, I'll place let's zoom it up and see. At this point here, where this line and this line meets, I'll place my compass here, and I'll take this curve here. I trace it down here. So I'll place my compass at this point, and I'll draw until it touches here, just like this. I see that? That's what I want to just do. Take it back. Now if you look at this, I will complete this drawing here. From this point to this point, then from here also, from here to here, right? Then from here to here, from here to here too, and then so this is what we're going to do. Now we've done this, right? So the next thing we'll do is, if you look, we successfully interpreted this guy here, this, which is this. So the next thing we need to do is to draw this upward. So I'm going to measure from here to this point is 200, which is from here to here, or 1800, and from here to here is 75. From here to here is 200, and from here to here is what? 75. So what I'll be using will be what? 37.5. Right? Because if you look at the radius, so 0.75, which is 75, and that's 37.5, but that's what we have here. So I'm going to measure 137.5 up here. So first of all, I'll measure my 100 up. So with the help of this, I'm going to measure my 100 up. So let's take it down a little bit. With the help of my set square, I'll take this up. I'll just take this up this way, and I'll measure 100 from 1 to 11 is 100, right? So I'm going to do the next thing for the next one too. I'll take this up too. I'm going to close it up. I'll close it up, and I'll measure the thickness too. Look at it. The thickness is 18.75 after doing all the conversion. So I'll have 18.75. So let's measure 18.75 here. So how would I do that 18.75? Is by dividing 13.75 by 2. So I can just come here and bisect this 13.5 here, this to this. So once I bisect it, up, down, up, down. I can just join it together. To the meeting here. So that will be my 18.75. So if I place it from here to here, I'll be able to get this. Right? So I can easily bring it down, straight down. And I'll close it up. Close it up. Now I've closed the box up, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll take in from here to this point. You can see that? Because from here is thickened. All good? Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to also thicken from this point to this point here. And I'll close it up. Just close them up. I'll close it up too. I'm going to close it up too. I'm going to close it up too. Now, the next thing that is remaining here is what I just did here now is to draw my 100 from here to here. Are we good? So the remaining one here is the curve. So I'm going to measure another extra 37.5 upward. So this is what I'm going to do. So we know from here to here is our 100, right? And to look at it, from here to here is also the 100 that we have, right? Now that means that's our center point. So it's from here we're going to measure 37.5. So it's from here we measure 37.5 upward. So the first thing we'll do here is just to this is our center line here to this point. So I'll just take the center line up. Just take it up. So this is our center line here, right? So from there, what we're going to do is we'll take it up fully. Let's take it up fully. So, or better still, you can use this and take your 37.5. And you measure that 37.5 is from here to here, right? And you place it here and you strike up. Then you also strike down. Can you see? You strike up. Let's see the up that you're striking. Let's take it down. So you strike up. Can you see that? Place it here. Strike up and you what? Strike down. With the same measurement. You know this is already there. This up, this down. And so on and so forth. So after you strike up and down, let's place it at the center. Strike up and strike down. So we're going to be having this. So I'll take my compass, my set square, and I'll place it here to complete this, and I'll take it here to complete this. So I'll take this to be here, and this one also to be here. Do it again, and this is the center here, so don't get confused. coming. After completing it, I'm going to join this point to this point. Concentrate the center. You can see that. Let's take it down. That point to this point, point to the center. Then from this point, I'll move it to touch the X. Touch here, just like the way I'm constructing onto a circle. So from here also, I'll take it up to this point too. You see that? So I'm having this point and this point as my center point. So what I'll simply do here is to take my compass, place it here, and I'll take it to this point and I'll draw my curve. And I'll place it here also. Take to this point and draw my curve. Right. So the next thing is to repeat the same feat at this junction here. So how does this? Repeat the same thing. Just complete that box there. Here's the point where they meet at this point. Happy? Now I'll just take this now. And I'm going to draw this window. I'll take this in. So in doing that, I'll close it up. So in doing that, I'm having this. And this. And this. Bring it down. So if you're looking at, I created a kind of a box. So what I'm doing, what I did initially, I want to do it again. So this point to this point is this point to this point. So I'll join it together. Faint line. Right? So I want to transfer my point. So in transferring my point, I can just see on my set square, place this way, and the first point here that I used to draw this curve, I'll transfer it to this point, and the second point here, I'll transfer it here also. So what I'll simply do here is I might give myself a kind of boundary. And also boundary. So let's do that and see. So if I place it here at this point here, I can easily get my curve, but I won't complete it. into that, and I'm going to just join here to here. Then the next one will be this. I'll place it here. I'll come to this point where I will draw this to touch here. So let's do that and see. I have that, right? So we're moving. So the next thing we'll do here is we've gotten this point. Now is remaining this, and the radius is what? 38. So I'm going to measure 38 on my meter rule. Yes, 38. Yes, 38. So I measure 38 on my meter rule. From here, I have 1, 2, this 38 here, and I'll place it at this point, the center here. Right, I've already done that. So I'll take 38. Right. So since I said diameter, I'll take half of 38, which will be so that will be 29. Since the diameter here is 38, so I'm going to measure 29. So this is 10, 20, 29 is here. And I'll place it here. And I'll mark up, I'll mark down, left, and right. So I'll close them up with my set square. Looks like what I've been doing since the beginning. So what you guys do here, instead of stressing yourself, what you do is you can use your French curve at this point. So you can use your French curve at this point. Since it's 38, right? So you look for an ellipse that is closer to that. 38 is 38 here, or 40, and I'll place it at this point. Alright, I'll gauge it to ensure that this line is at the center. That again, you gauge it there very well, and you bring that out. To the thickness, there's another circle inside. So what you simply do is, you know this is one diagonal, this is the second diagonal. So I need to get the center of that diagonal. Or like I'll just move the center to this point. This is center here, right? So I will take my French curve, same value I have. I will gauge it on that point. You can see the line being at the center of it. So I'll just do this. So this is what we'll be having. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to click on the subscribe button.